Question for Coach Mark?
So I've got a big picture question for you.
Okay.
So with the numbers that you're putting up on defense, where do you think that says at this moment that you are as a program in the rebuild?
Well, I think we just have a solid foundation, obviously. You know, our system and our foundation is set, and now we're just improving it. So I think once you have a system, then it's easier to be successful and consistent over the years. Yet last year we were kind of just implementing that, so it wasn't great until the end of the year. It got a lot better. So we're still like, right now we're not in the rebuild. We are, I guess, in the climb. So I think in the climb to get better, but you know, it's been pretty fast because I'm just entering my 4th year, and I thought this whole process would take like 5 or 6 years. I didn't think in the 4th year we would be, you know, ranked top 20. I honestly didn't.
And I noticed that you started using the word the climb sort of probably a month ago.
Yeah.
Was all of a sudden, is there a demarcation for you that okay, so we won the WNIT and now we're at a different place, and now we're starting to win, and we've improved so much that now we're in the climb instead of a rebuild?
Yeah, well, I just thought like in the rebuild, you're really trying to just get there. You're like just starting to climb, I felt like. So there wasn't an exact point, but I thought a pivotal point in the program was the WNIT. Because after that, you don't want to be building and going to the NIT again. So I think that kind of showed, okay, we were here, now we're like climbing the hill. We're not the bottom of the hill. When I got here, we were like underneath the ground. and then we like stuck our head up. And then, so now we're halfway up the hill. But there's just so much to do. And I don't want to use the word rebuild because it's just such a different vision, and we're at a different point. So I thought the climb is the fun part. It's the excitement of getting better, you know, trying to be ranked, trying to get to the NCAA tournament. So those things, and I felt like in a rebuild stage, you're not at that point. And I think we're at that point, so that's why the climb. And the climb is the fun part.
So on the defense, you're improving game by game, and this year's improved a lot from last year. But is there sometimes in a game or in maybe one game where you're like, wow, it's really clicking with them? Was there a point that you feel that way? Because, you know, obviously the numbers back it up. But when do you get that sort of that eye test that you're like, okay, we're getting there?
I think just glimpses throughout the game. There's never been a full game where I think the test for us was Texas and the way we responded, and they're a good team. I think a lot of people looked at the Texas game, then after Texas then lost to Hawaii. Then I think people said, oh, they're not that good. But then they wouldn't beat Tennessee, and they're a good team with good personnel. So I think that game, how we just kind of jumped on them and had a good game, that kind of showed me where we're at, and defensively how we played. It showed me a lot about our team, the character of our team. But I think some of the numbers are a little bit skewed because of who we've played. So do I think that we're going to hold opponents to 28% field goal percentage, you know, defensively in the Pac-12? I don't think that's really realistic. But can it be then 32 or 33, or can it still be a great number but not that low? Just because of we're playing like number 1, number 3, number 5, number 9 like every weekend. So that's why it's skewed a little bit. So I know the weaknesses we have and what we still need to work on. So that 28%, I'm not satisfied, even though it's the best in the country or if we're number 1 or 2, because I know there's areas that we need to work on, and because we're playing the best team in the country in a few weeks, you know. So, but there are moments in the game where it's clicking and it's like 5 minutes of great defense. I'm like, wow, we're solid. And then I realize that we're better than last year because Aries not playing 38 minutes. Sam isn't playing 38 minutes. So I think that they're able to play a little bit harder when they're in, which is normal, because if you're playing 38 minutes, you're not playing hard defense 38 minutes. You just can't, it's not physiological. So when I look at that and I look at players like Helena who come into the system and have success, then I know the system in place is good. So for me as a coach, let's say we didn't get great athletes next year, I would have to modify that a little bit. But I don't mind modifying it. But also then now I can kind of recruit to the system I'm going to have, and then hopefully get that personnel. But Aerie is a catalyst for that. I decided to change the way we play defensively because we had Aerie, we had TT, we had some great defenders. So me playing the pack line with some great on-the-ball defenders, it didn't make sense. So I'm not afraid, though. I love that system. I played that kind of defense in college. I played that defense with Brian Nagler. So I just took a lot of defensive philosophies from different people, and I kind of made it my own, what I like. And it's been successful, and it's been fun. And I think it's a really fun style that's helped us manufacture points. I think that was the big thing. In the rebuild process, it was like, okay, we can't really score. Then we bring Aerie in. Aerie's a prolific scorer, but how do we manufacture points as a team? So then that defensive system enabled us to do that.
How important do you think it is for people outside the program to see other great players, not just focus on Aerie, but realize Kate's a great player? And, did your team not a player?
Yeah, so very important. I think, last year, I don't want a team where it just relies on one person. Aerie's awesome. She's a phenomenal player that changed everything, but I didn't want it to only be Aerie. So my job and our job as a staff was to go recruit better players around Aerie that want to play with Aerie, and it makes Aerie even better. So then getting players like Helena, she's one of the best Europeans in the country. She will be a star. And I said that before. People were like, she will be a star. Now you guys can see she's getting better every game. Bringing players like her and like Mara and Tara, other freshmen that are going to grow and be solid players. That was our job, and that's a part of recruiting. And that's one of the reasons why that's important from the rebuild to the climb. Because I think initially when you're selling a vision of rebuilding, you got to talk players into a vision. But I think when they see the climb, they see where the program's going. It's easier to recruit those type of players. So it's easier to say, come be a part of us. We'll go from 18 to 2, or top 4 or Final Four team. So they can kind of see the product, and it's easier to get them. Next year, we're going to add some more players. And so our job is to put great players around Aerie. And then you remember, Shayna's sitting out next year. So Shayna and Aerie together next year are pretty, it's a very dynamic backcourt. So now we just got to get we're still missing a couple more pieces.
Coach, this is a two-part question. Are you where you want to be at this point of the season heading into conference play? And the second part is rebounding, you think, still the biggest challenge heading into conference play?
I think the focus of our focus on rebounding and it being a focal point is a challenge. It's funny, as a coach, you're never where you want to be. You're never satisfied. But then I have to take a look, I have to step back and reflect sometimes. Yeah, I think we're where we need to be right now. Are we in the best shape? No. Have we peaked? No, but we're not supposed to in December. But I have a focus for the next 3 weeks. We have to get better at certain things before the Pac-12 to be successful, especially the first couple of weeks, because we play ASU, USC, UCLA, then the Oregons. That is a very tough, beginning of the conference. So I know if we don't correct some things and get better in 3 weeks, we won't win those games. So where we need to be, yes, but no. Does that make sense? So not where I want to be. Where we need to be, yes, I think as a program, but not where I want to be. And we have to get healthy. And we will get healthy. So practices have been very light. So managing that is important. We can't go banged up into the Pac-12. And right now, we're just a little bit banged up.
I saw Dominique out front on her little scooter. What's the status on her?
So we shut her down for a couple of weeks. She'll be back in probably about 10 days. But, she's walking around, but we're just kind of, giving her ankle a break. And there's no need to rush her back now. There's a lot of time to rest. We only have a couple games and a break. So it's a perfect time to just kind of shut her down. Because I'm more concerned with having her for ASU.
Cheval.
Cheval's good. So Cheval's probably a couple days away. She's working out, but she's not doing contact yet. But she should start contact today or tomorrow. Well, tomorrow's a game day, so she won't play tomorrow. Because I don't want to rush her in, have contact, and play right away when we can wait another week, and she's 100%.
So you have a new podcast.
Yeah.
How did you come up with that idea?
So I thought it'd be fun because, people don't get to know Coach Candrea, Sean, behind the scenes. And I think it's different in this type of environment. When you're asked, I think all the coaches are just more guarded. So I thought, and it's human nature. So I thought, behind the scenes and talking about things and picking their brain. I love to do it because I learned so much stuff from Sean and from Coach Candrea. So I thought it'd be a cool idea that people, would like to hear. And then Dave Hickey. As an athletic director, you're dealing with hard stuff every day. You always have to be a bearer of bad news. And I think it's not easy, and he's so great behind the scenes, and if people got to know that side, I think they'd love him even more. So I thought that was cool. And I mean, no one knows he's got a dog or that's like a therapist. You know, just little things you would never know. You're not going to go asking those questions at a press conference. Or at least I hope not. So I think just getting to know him behind the scenes, I think it's important, because if you saw what I see in this environment, this is like a family. And we have some great people like Dave and Liz, Sean, his family, Coach Candrea. I mean, he's been here since I was a player. It's a really good group of coaches that I think fans would love, and I think fans don't really get to know them. And it's a special place. This department has at least 7 or 8 people that have been here since I played. So that's rare. That doesn't happen in college athletics. So I think just showing a part of that and learning some stuff that's different than what you guys can ask Andrea or ask, Coach Miller, I think it was a cool thing. So I hope it's good. I hope you guys like it.
Are you comfortable hosting it? Like, what's your experience? Oh, you did
Well,
radio.
I did radio, but like it's different. Like sometimes, because you have to. I think the hard thing is when you have friendships or respect and you're in the same building, you can't ask certain things because sometimes you get caught up in like you're just talking. But so I think you just have to ask certain questions, not too personal. Or else they're gonna say no to my next podcast. So I had to take it easy on them.
What can you say about Lucia? Like, she came in when the program was like just starting to rebuild, and she played a lot. And then as you guys have gotten better, like you're winning more, but her role has diminished a little bit. So what can you just say about, I guess, how she's been able to handle that?
So Lucia, I love her. Always have a special place in my heart. I mean, she was my first recruit here at Arizona, so she's very special to me. I think it's a difficult role. Last year Lucia got hurt in the NIT run, and then like TT came in, but I know what Lucia can do. I know that at any given time I can call on Lucia. I know that she is so unselfish. She is such a great teammate. She doesn't care if she plays 5 or 40 minutes. She wants to win. She doesn't care. So I knew, and I know she's reliable. I know she's consistent and dependable. I know what I can get from her. So I knew when we needed her in UTEP, I can always call on her. So I think sometimes the challenge is if there's only a few minutes, you want to give freshmen some experience. But I know how valuable Lucia is in the Pac-12. Like there's times in the Pac-12 I won't be able to give the freshmen that experience. So I think that's that's probably a difficult thing as a player, but she understands, she gets it, she looks at the big picture, and I think she knows that when push comes to shove and we're in UTEP and with a rowdy crowd and 4 people down, I'm going to call on her. I mean, we wouldn't have won Santa Clara without Lucia. And in the Pac-12, she is like one of our true point guards that we need. She is very valuable. And I think she understands. She sees the times when I want to give Mara some minutes at the 1 or Bryce. She understands that. So I think I think she's fine.
Do you think it's easier for her to have that win mentality when, like, she was one of the players that went through that 6-win season, and she sees what the alternative is?
Yeah, I think I think that also, I mean, not only that, just the culture of the first couple of years. I remember saying to her, don't leave, it's going to be okay, it's going to get better. And she was always like, because the culture wasn't good when I first got here. So I think that she's a part of that building process, and she was a huge part of that. Without her, we wouldn't have had nearly the success we had. So she's someone I rely on, she's someone I trust. She's a leader on this team. She's one of our true point guards. I mean, Ari's not a true point guard. Ari's like a 1-2, a scoring. So Lucia always gives us that steady, calm. She can play the 1, she can play the 2. She'll do whatever you ask. And she's gotten better and better. Look how much she's improved from when she first got here. So, I love her being here, and I think she's always going to be someone we can always count on, and we need her. And we need her to play at a high level, regardless of how many minutes. And sometimes it's matchups and games. Sometimes it's a really fast athletic team. Sometimes it's a team where we need someone to slow us down. So she's able to play a lot of different roles for us.
And her defense has improved a lot this
A lot.
year, along with everybody else. What has she done sort of to make that improvement, that jump?
I think just learning, I think going against Aerie every day helps too. Aerie's fast. If you can contain Aerie in practice or half the time, you're going to be able to contain any guard. So I think just the repetition of that, getting smarter, knowing when to step back, knowing when to press. I think you just get that with experience, and she's just grown in that area. But she's probably, she is our smartest basketball player. The highest basketball IQ, knowing, does all the fundamental little things, and that's really important. And that's why she's able to do what she does. And Lucia is not looking to score. Remember, we always said, look for your shot. She wants to pass. She wants to set her teammates up. That's her pleasure. And, that's what a true point guard does. So, but yeah, she has improved defensively. I think just wanting to do it and committing to it and knowing that was an area she had to improve, and she just did it. I mean, she's completely changed her body, too. I mean, she has transformed her whole body. One of the reasons is she's also a nutritionist major. So Lucia is the only one on the road. I'm like, dessert, we want dessert. Everybody gets it. Lucia doesn't ever get it. And I'm always like, dang, Lucia, that's good discipline. But she meal preps, she cooks. I mean, she's totally grown, and that's what you're supposed to do in college. So it's fun to see. Ask her about it. She's the only one on the team that meal preps. Everybody else eats pretty bad.
Anything else?
He thinks good.
Thanks, good.
Yeah, ask
Kate?
Kate, being from Texas, how does it feel to be 2-0 against Texas teams?
I mean, it's a good feeling, although El Paso doesn't really count as Texas, but
El Paso's the Tucson of Texas.
yeah, it's just like not the same. It just doesn't really look the same as like other parts of Texas, but I mean, it's a good feeling just to know not only that we're 2-0 against Texas team, but we're undefeated, so it's a good feeling.
Your first Player of the Week award, how'd that feel?
It was nice. I honestly wasn't expecting it, but just seeing like the social media about it, I was kind of surprised. Also, just shows my teammates were looking for me. Lulu did a great job of finding me in the game against UTEP. So I just have to say thank you to my teammates and just the hard work we've been putting in all season so far.
So you guys have really bought into the defensive system, and your play has improved. Obviously, the numbers bear it out, and also the eye test. What do each of you think about how your defense has improved?
We practice like defense every day. We work on the forward and like 5-on-5 every day. So I'm glad that that's showing because we work hard like every day.
Yeah, we do. I agree with what Lou says. We, like, literally every day, we always work on defense, even though sometimes we don't like to do that. We do it a lot. Although rebounding isn't our strong suit right now, so we've definitely been emphasizing that more lately in practice. So hopefully we start doing better at that, especially going into conference.
Do either of you ever feel like when you're in the midst of a game or after a game, like, do you sort of know that you are doing really well on defense and you're really holding other teams down? Do you have a sense of that? I mean, besides looking at the score or looking at the stats after, do you feel it when it's working?
I mean, when we get like a bunch of steals or deflections, like I know that like we're working hard, we're in the right positions on defense, but then sometimes like we'll think we did really well and then like we'll go back and look at film and be like we were not in the right position, like we were not here. But a lot of the times we are in the right position, and that's the important part. Although in the game, like I'm not really thinking about like how well our defense is, but like at halftime at the end of the game, we'll talk about it and be like, oh, this is what we need to do better. Like we're doing good at this, and just like talking about, like what we're doing good on defense. So I think that's when we know that we did a great job. But in the game, I don't think we're really focused on that aspect.
What do you both, this is for both of you, what do you guys want to accomplish with these last games going into conference play before the games get really tough?
Definitely, I would say like improving our rebounding is like one of our weak points right now, and then keep like playing good defense, sharing the ball in offense, and like playing our basketball.
Yeah, I would say just working on ourselves more so, because we are about to go into Pac-12 where the teams are a lot bigger, a lot more difficult to play against. So we definitely have to work on things that we need to work on, like screening, working more on our defense, just getting better at things that we need to, and just being stronger at the things that we're good at. So I definitely think just working on what we have to do.
So see, what have you kind of made of your career? Because when you first got here, you played a lot, but your team wasn't very good. And then as you've gotten better, like you haven't played as much. What have you thought about that?
I mean, I want to do what's best for the team. I have to play 40 minutes, I'll do it. If I have to stay in the bench, I'll do it. At the end of the day, I want to win. So whatever is best for the team, I'll do it.
When you look at where the program is now compared to when you first got here, or even like your second year, I mean, what like really stands out to you?
I would say like the chemistry that we have, like we enjoy playing with each other, and you can tell when you watch us playing that we play like one, and I really enjoy that.
And is the program at a point now where like you ever saw it getting to during your career, or did you think like maybe it would be after your career that they would get to a point where you're ranked and one of the best teams in the country?
After my sophomore year, I realized that the team was gonna get better, and I'm happy that I'm here when this is happening. So yeah.
Adia was saying that she talked to you a couple times about, or just saying like, oh, don't leave. Probably during
Yeah, my
years.
freshman year, she was like, it's gonna get better, don't leave.
Why?
She was right.
Did you have any doubts?
Oh no, never. No, I never thought about leaving.
Why didn't you have any doubts?
Because I really like the coaches, especially like Salvo and Adia. They helped me a lot my freshman year, and I wouldn't play for anybody else, honestly.
How would you say your role has changed in terms of the things that you're asked to do on the court?
Right now, I'm trying in practice to help the team, the freshmen, and I'm usually in the scout team. So what I do is try to play hard to make my the starters, for example, better. And if I have to play or help the team in any other way, I'll do it.
What do you think has been the key to your defensive improvement?
We work every day on it, and my forward, I think it's better. So I think that helps.
Destiny kind of had that role last year where she was helping the freshmen. Did you get something out of watching her go through that same process that you've kind of gone through?
Yeah, I remember Destiny last year playing in practice, playing so hard that she helped us a lot. So I'm trying to do the same thing.
Also, I think it helps because Lulu knows the experience of coming from a different country and what to expect and how to help our freshmen that came from somewhere else, because it's definitely a large transition, even from someone coming from the country here and coming to Tucson. So I mean, it's definitely just a bigger transition, and I think Lulu has the best experience with that, so it definitely helps.
Kate, what have you seen in her defense, how it's improved this season, Lulu's?
I mean, I feel like even last year she was a great defender, but she's always on the ball. She's smart. She's one of our smartest players that we have. She just knows what to do and where to be at all times. So, I mean, I definitely think that really helps her. And she's really active off the ball on defense. She's always in help side, or when she's on the ball, she has a lot of ball pressure. So, I mean, it's good to look at and see, you have a player on the team you can trust to be in help side if you need help. So, I like playing with Lou on the court. So.
Lou, are you planning on playing internationally after you're done with the U of A?
I don't know yet, but yeah, I will definitely go back home and see if I can play there.
Now, you brought a lot of European experience when you came to Arizona. How is that going on the other side of the coin? How is your U of A experience going to help you internationally?
Oh yeah, I think I improved a lot as a player. Now I'm more physical. My body changed a lot too, so that's gonna help me if I play overseas, definitely.
How much of your body changing do you attribute to your meal planning?
I mean, I like to eat healthy because my major is nutrition, and I feel good when I eat healthy. So I do every day I do my meal prep and everything, my snacks. So yeah, I love it.
Do you have a go-to thing that you prepare?
Rice with chicken and vegetables. That's my go thing. I always eat that pretty much every day.
And apparently when you guys go to, I don't know what place it is, but when your team has dessert, you're the only one that doesn't have it. I mean, do you try to?
I mean, it's a habit, so I don't want to break it. So I try to stay away from sweets and that, especially during season, because my body feels better after.
We went to dinner last night, and we had bread, appetizers, dessert. Literally did not eat anything but her meal. I was like, okay, not one piece of bread. It's just a lot of willpower. Thank you.
Thanks, Lou.
Thank you.